Hello everybody, welcome back to the Pause Challenge. It is day 8 of the Pause Challenge and I want to welcome you back here. Thank you so much for sharing these Pause Challenge videos, for commenting, for joining me in the challenges, because it has been an amazing experience. Now, if this is your first Pause Challenge video with me, the context and concept of the Pause Challenge is to take a moment to pause, to think about a concept or a question, to go within, to take a moment to get the best answers from within. Now, the Pause Challenge is based on my book, Pause, 52 Questions That Lead to More Time and Money. And it's based on the fact that so many of us try to control our external environment. We try to control everything that's going on around us, and we try to get the answers based on everything that we're experiencing. And especially right now, I know many of you are still without power, or you're trying to clean up your homes due to the hurricanes or the fires, and my heart and my presence is so with you in doing that. And the need to pause and slow down is more important than it's ever been. So today's context and concept is all about procrastination. So let's go ahead and start the pause. Take another deep breath with me. Take another deep breath with me. Now remember, the Pause Challenge is all about pausing. So if you're watching this video right now, take a moment, put down whatever you've got in your hands, whatever you're thinking about, and just take a moment to be with me, to pause. Now, last night, I finished my work around 5:30, and I didn't have the desire to continue working. And I tried to convince myself to get more done, but I fell into this place of noticing that I was procrastinating on a bunch of things that I had to do. Procrastinating on making a decision for where we were going to hold our event and how we were going to hold it in October. Procrastinating on some expenses that I needed to look over, procrastinating on a couple other decisions I needed to make. And it was so interesting because I went into escape mode. Now, anyone here recognize escape mode? Give me some love if you ever go into escape mode. For me, escape mode was Netflix. I totally went into watching a brand new Netflix series. It was like the dumbest series, guys. It's called Greenhouse, and it's about this school academy and these kids that are going there. Fantastic in terms of mindless entertainment, but not the best solution to dealing with your issues. And I finally got to the end of the night, and I felt worse and worse with every hour that was passing by, as we do most of the time when we're procrastinating on something that's important for us. And I finally got a pen and paper, and I wrote down everything that I was procrastinating, just to get it out of my head and onto the piece of paper. And when I saw it on the piece of paper, I realized that underneath each procrastination there was a fear. The fear around not signing the contract for the event was all about, well, what if I don't hit my goal? What if people don't come? This is me saying yes to it. The fear around not looking into my expenses was having to admit what actually happened and looking at those numbers and seeing the reality around it. The fear around not making a decision about a certain individual in the company and what they should do in terms of like their vacation. It was all about me not wanting to think about the policies that we have in place. Now that's the thing, guys. Everything that you're procrastinating on around, there's a fear underneath it. And if you can start to see the fear underneath the things that you're procrastinating around, you're going to start to understand why you're procrastinating, and it'll be easier to do it. So then the next thing I decided was that I decided to get up earlier this morning, which I did. And I decided to use my willpower when my willpower was at its height, which is always in the morning for me. And I knocked out 4 of the things that I wanted to get done that day, that I was worried about yesterday. I just knocked them out in the morning before I had a chance to think about them. So if this is happening for you, if you're procrastinating on, number one, remember that you want to write down what you're procrastinating on so it stops floating in your brain. Number two, look at the fear behind each thing that you're procrastinating on. And number three, find a space and a time when your willpower is at its highest to start doing it. And then there's a momentum that starts happening. And once you have the ability and you start doing one thing, then you can do another thing, then you can do another thing, and it starts to feel better and better and better. So let's take a moment and pause together. And I want you to ponder this question. What are you procrastinating on right now? Is it having a conversation with someone? If you've got a pen and paper, this is only going to take about 20 seconds. Go ahead and grab it, write it down. Is it doing a certain thing in your business? Is it making a decision? Is it cutting something off? I feel like we procrastinate the most about things like canceling a gym membership or canceling a subscription to something that we're not really using. Or is it talking to someone in your business? What are you procrastinating on that you know that you need to get done? Go ahead and write it down or think about it if you don't have pen and paper in front of you right now. And then pick one of those things, and I want you to ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Why am I really procrastinating? And it's easiest to do this exercise with pen to paper and to really put a fear next to each of those procrastinations. Because one of the things that happens is when you recognize the fear, you bring the fear to the surface. And as the fear comes to the surface, it starts to see the light, and it does not seem like it's that big of a deal anymore. So what is the real fear that's causing you to procrastinate? Now, if you totally get this and you relate to this, leave me a comment and let me know what that fear is for you. Also share this video if you loved it. And then here's one other thing that I want to say. If you want to pause more with me and think a lot more about what's going on underneath the surface, to slow down, to do meditations with me, to call on your guides and the higher powers, and to get you spiritually connected, please join me in my new program. I'm so excited about it. It's called Pause for Profit. And there is a link in the title of this, and I'll also put it in the comments. And here's what you should know. Our next live class is today. It's actually today at 4 o'clock. The classes are recorded, so you can join anytime, but if you're thinking about it and you know that you need to slow down more, Pause for Profit is all about slowing down. The first class is about connecting to your guides, being able to channel and activating your wisdom to be able to hear your higher self and to be able to see and connect to your deeper intuition. The second class is all about managing your fear with love. I talk about the 4 levels of fears and how most fear comes from an ancestral level and also a soul level, and how to manage your fear and why it's around in the second class. And that class is today. And then the third class is all about getting out of isolation and asking for help and how to stop thinking that you have to be the only one doing everything. And the fourth class is all about time management for the soul. How do you manage your time in a way that actually manages your desires and what your heart deeply wants? So know that if this is something that feels good to you or sounds good to you, I cordially welcome you to join me and to join the others that are part of the program. It's already changing people's lives, and I love that. Feel free to slow down, because without slowing down, we're not going to be able to slay anything in our path. In fact, most of our issues right now relate to the fact that we're going so fast that we forget to see the easiest path. We actually miss the flow. And that's what pausing is all about. So don't forget to pause today. Thanks, everyone. Take care and have an amazing day. Here's to you and me both ending our procrastination.